Praise be to Christ, brother.
I've heard you're from Vlashim.
Yes, why do you ask? And more importantly, where did you hear it? Since I'm quite sure I've never told you.
Because I've heard otherwise. You aren't from Vlashim. You made it all up.
And who told you that? Whoever it was, he's a liar. It's complete nonsense.
In the night, I saw the brother cicadas drinking and playing dice.
And why aren't you spending your nights sleeping instead of creeping around spying on your brothers?
I only wanted to...
I know, brother, I know. But you need to understand that novices shouldn't be poking their noses into the affairs of elder brothers.
You're right. I'm not going to get in...
A wise decision. You know, life in a monastery is much like life outside in many ways. The monastery walls don't keep out human pride and hatred.
Really? I thought monks were above that sort of human folly.
They became monks, Gregor, but that didn't stop them being men. Be on your guard as much as you ever were outside. Lies, jealousy, vengeance. They can hurt you here as much as...
Thanks for the advice. Although I don't know if I can follow it.
That's up to you, brother.
Talk to me, brother.
About those...
Did you get them? Keys?
Yes, I have them.
In that case, come before midnight to the cloister garden. I'll be waiting for you there, and we'll head off.
What?
Good speech. So much the more ought work. Therefore, since the spirit of silence is so important, permission to speak should rarely be granted even though it is for it is written,
What would...
in much speaking you will not escape sin. And in another place, death
And what
I'm looking...
lock picks?
and teaching belong to the master.
I'd like...
I'll
We condemn everywhere with a perpetual back. And for such conversation we do not permit a disciple to
What do you
open
des-
his mouth. The rule of Saint Benedict. Readings on the abbot.
I'd like to ask you something about the monastery.
The name of abbot, he ought to govern
Well, that-
his disciples with a twofold teaching. That is to say, he should show them all that is good and holy by his deeds even more than by his words. Expounding the Lord's commandments in words But since he has the authority, let him cut out those faults by the roots as soon as they begin to appear.
What would you...
I'd like to ask... Can you tell me...
7 centuries ago...
Do you... I...
Talk to me.
I'm here to work.
Excellent. I've been waiting for you. Today's task, 2 cockerel potions. Once you finish them... Talk to me.
I finished my...
Show me what you've made. Spectacular, Gregor.
What is it?
I found a few pages of the torn-up book, but
Wonderful.
I'm here to work.
Excellent.
You call that a copy? You've complete...
Forbidden books, written by the... Get away from my cabinet. The book stood in there out for your eyes to see. Don't even look at that cabinet.
What is it?
To men only if what is commanded is
Peace be with you, brother.
delay, lukewarmness, grumbling, his lips but simply in his heart, then even though he fills the mouth, yet not his heart is murmuring, and far from gaining a reward worth as this, he will incur the punishment due to murmurers unless he amend and make.
Aha!
The rule of Saint cannot suffer any delay in executing, but this very obedience will be acceptable to God and pleasing to men only if what is commanded is done.
Check everyone's breath in the morning. Then he'd soon get his man. Praise be to Christ.
Talk to me, brother.
Here I am.
Just in time to manage it all. Once we're outside, we'll need to be careful and we'll need to be quick. If we're not back before sunrise, someone will realize we've gone, and there'll be hell to pay.
Where exactly are we going for the wine?
Next to the monastery is the house of the custodian, a baron who provides military protection to the monastery. We'll take the wine from him.
What particular wine are the cicadas after?
They want some Znojmo wine. But there's no way we'll be able to tell what's what. We'll just grab a cask and head off. I doubt the custodian would have anything of poor quality in his cellar.
The brothers will complain.
They'll complain even more if they've nothing to drink at all.
How do we do that once we're there? Will we need to break into the custodian's cellar?
We needn't break in anywhere. It's on the ground floor and usually unlocked. It holds supplies for the whole craftsman's yard, and every now and again, someone comes in to fetch something. The only thing we have to make sure is that nobody sees us.
I'm ready. We can head off.
All right. You have the outside keys, so get unlocking.
Aren't you meant to be in...
Wonderful. Now you have to be quick. Go, and don't let anyone see you or there'll be trouble.
Wait, what do you mean I have to be quick? Aren't we going together?
You know, it's better if I stay here. One fellow attracts half the attention of two. Just go.
This isn't what we agreed. Either we both go or no one goes.
Oh, come on, Gregor. Don't be like that. The circators are waiting for their wine. You don't want to let them down.
Like I said, I'm not going alone.
To hell with you, Gregor. You know we're going to get into trouble for this.
someone there.
What are you doing? Through it from the monastery.
Someone really reeked at Matins.
You're right. It stunk like a wine barrel in there. And it's not the first time.
Soon be solved. It's a wonder.
Ah, down there.
What troubles you?
I'd like to.
What?
Praise be to Christ. I'll say one thing, brother. This wine would grace the Pope's table.
I'm not so sure. It's a bit sour. God knows what's in it.
Don't be absurd. It's a first-class car, direct from Snoimon.
No, I know the taste of a good vintage, and this isn't it.
What would you like?
I'd like.
What's there left to drink to?
To our fresh young...
Ah, this looks like the Saracen language. Ib al.
Imagine these men could have been burned at the stake just for writing these books. What is it, brother?
About that magic potion from the forbidden books. Would you share the recipe with me?
You don't even have to ask. It's thanks to you I have it. Listen, old wives' ointment, which witches use upon the Sabbath, and therein damn their souls to the devil. Prepare oil, a fistful of marigold, a fistful of belladonna, and a fistful of lover's knot. Boil the lover's knot for one turn. Drop the ground marigold in the cauldron and boil for another turn. Drop the ground belladonna into the cauldron and boil for another turn.
Sounds quite poisonous.
And it probably is, but I'm interested to find out what it does.
About. What do you plan on doing with it?
I don't really know yet. Perhaps one day I'll concoct it and try it out.
Siskin, that potion isn't a good idea.
Well, maybe it is, maybe it's not. But I want to try it out. I'm not saying right now, but at some point.
Let's change the subject.
Praised be to our Lord Jesus.
Praise be. Talk to me.
Weak or sickly brethren should be assigned a task or craft aimed at idleness and at the same time not to overburden or drive them away from their weakness must be taken into consideration. What he is and what he is called, and should know that more is permitted. From him more.
Talk to me, brother.
Here's the book you wanted.
Amazing. This really is it. Now I can use it to prepare a cure for our suffering abbot. Then I'll leave it in the library to make it seem as if Brother Librarian left it lying about. There'll be no investigation. It would be against his best interests, as he'll look like the one who wasn't taking proper care of the books. It will drive him mad. I didn't leave that book out, or did I? Is there anything I can do for you in return?
I'd be interested in finding out the background of the other novices.
That's a strange wish you have. And the only ones who know everything about the novices are the abbot and the prior. They keep a record of every monk in the abbot's book, but you'll never get your hands on it. It's locked up in the prior's study.
Thanks. You've helped me immensely.
No, thank you. About that book. Don't even think about breaking in to get it.
I'm here to work.
Excellent. I've been waiting for you. There's the alchemist's laboratory. You'll concoct 2 bucks' blood. Once you finish them, you'll find me some. What?
I finished my...
Show me what...
What's trouble?
I found a few...
Wonderful. Keep looking then.
I'm here to...
Well done, brother. No mistakes.
Even look at that cabin.
Therefore, one receives the name of abbot. He ought to govern his disciples with a twofold teaching. That is to say, he should show them all that is good and holy, by his deeds even more than by his words.
Peace be with you,
Expounding
brother.
the Lord's commandments in words to the intelligent among his disciples. but demonstrating the divine precepts by his actions for those of harder hearts and ruder minds. The abbot should always remember what he is and what he is called, and understanding, let him correct with verbal admonition the first and second half. But bold, hard, proud, and disobedient characters he should curb at the very beginning of their ill-doing by striking.
What's trouble?
What do we have here? A nice sharp dagger. Now what would a monk need that for? What have we here? That's it. The book with information about the novices. Interesting. But I still don't know which one of them is pious. Interesting. But I still don't know which one of them is pious.
Ah, great.
I've heard you're from...
Yes, why do you ask? And more importantly, where did you hear it? Since I'm quite sure I've never told you. Honestly, the monks like to gossip more than old wives at the market.
I've read the abbot's book. It's got everything he knows about the novices.
Why? Why would you do that?
Because I was curious.
That book was surely kept under lock and key, which makes you a thief. What led you astray, brother? Do you have any idea how they'll punish you for that?
That's beside the point now. There are gaps in your little story about Vlashim.
What's so implausible about it? I've always been more interested in books, so I left my brother the shop and came here to live a good life.
You see, I'm looking for someone in the monastery. Someone who's lied about who he is. And you fit that description perfectly.
But I told you, I've never lied to anyone.
That's funny. I think you're lying to me right now.
Do you think you're entitled to met out justice? Who gave you the right? I'm sorry, but I don't want to have anything more to do with you, Gregor. You're a lunatic, and the prior ought to be warned about you.
Please don't tell him anything. It would put my whole mission in jeopardy. And believe me, my cause is just.
Very well, I won't say a word. But you should think twice about what you have in mind.
Ah, Gregor.
I found a dagger in your stash.
And why shouldn't you have? I did hide it there after all. Do you often go through other people's belongings?
Well then, I have a question for you. I think you know what it is. What does a monk need a dagger for?
That dagger's the only thing I have left of my father. It was in our old shop, under the counter. Father kept it there to protect himself from thieves. When I was little, I admired that dagger so much. I asked Father if he'd give it to me when I was older. He always said yes, but only after he was dead.
Go on, please.
Now Father's dead and I'm here. That piece of steel is the only thing I have left from the outside world. I know it's not suitable for a monk, but I can't part with it. Now you can give it back to me. Thou shalt not steal.
I don't have it with me now.
Well, I'd be grateful if you brought it back to me. It would grieve me to lose it.
I'd like... Well, that's all.
Talk to me.
Is there any way I could...
What would you like to do? Climb up the tower and...
Not exactly. You do have...
John isn't my opponent, he's my brother. Just like you and everyone. But there is something you could help me with. You must know there's a great deal of iniquity here in the monastery. I'd be interested to hear of anything I don't know about.
Should I find out for you what's going on around here?
Let me make this clear. I want to base my candidacy on putting things in order. But if I don't know exactly what's wrong, then my promises are just empty slogans.
Very good then. I'll find out what I can.
Thank you, brother.
I've discovered...
I see. Tell me more.
The older brothers are picking on novice Lucas, punishing him when he doesn't deserve it and humiliating him.
It seems that now even brothers can't avoid worldly evil. Thank you for the information, and if you can, stand up for him. The older brothers are also out to get me. Any action
The Circators go into the cellar at night to drink wine.
I thought so. John always reeks of it. And he wants to be abbot. Hypocrite. Perhaps if you told the prior, that would clip John's wings.
Brother Yodok has been stealing wine for the Circators so they can drink.
Yodok? Well, that little rat's shown his true colors. Do you know where he's stealing it from?
From the cellar of a low-ranking vassal outside the monastery walls.
Clever. The custodian would never suspect anyone in the monastery. And no one here would suspect monks were drinking secretly when no wine's missing. Thank you, brother. Could you please inform the prior? If I were to do it, they'd cry false accusations.
That's all I know.
If you find out anything else, come to me. I'd be interested to hear it.
What
Since he has the authority authority, let him cut out those faults by the roots.
What would you...
Listen, there's something I ought to tell you. There's a dangerous criminal hiding in the monastery, and I came here to look for him.
Ha! I knew it! He's a villain. Who are you, though? Oh, it's better not to ask, isn't it? It's always safer not to ask.
Never mind that. Who's a villain?
That's Siskin. I always thought he was an odd one, the way he carries on. But now it makes perfect sense. He's a criminal fleeing justice.
What are you talking about? You clearly know something I don't.
I'm telling you, keep your eye on him. He's no monk. That's what my gut tells me. And my gut's never wrong. What are you going to do to that fellow once you find him?
That's not your concern.
You should talk to the Circators or the Prior about it, not act on your own.
But demonstrating the divine precepts by his actions for those of harder hearts and ruder minds. The abbot should always remember what he is and what he is called, and should know that to whom more is committed. From him,
There's something I should tell you. Something you won't be happy to hear. I'm here to find someone and, well, to do away with him. But listen, it's not murder, not when it's a man like him. He's one of the brigands who burned down Neuhof. He doesn't deserve to live.
What's he doing here? And who are you?
They call him Pius because he used to be a priest. When he found out a lot of people were after him, he hid away here. And as you can see, escaped suspicion. They sent me here to find him and bring him to justice. He's one of the novices.
So we have one outlaw and one assassin in our midst. This place is a lot more exciting than I expected. Do you know who it is?
Well, that's just it.
by stripes and other bodily punishments. Knowing that it is written, the fool is not corrected with words. And again, beat your son with the rod, and you will deliver...
It could be Antonius?
Antonius? He's a fine fellow. No, it can't be him.
Therefore, when anyone receives
Although,
the name of abbot,
you never know what's hiding beneath a man's skin.
See how hard it is? It could be anyone, and at the same time, nobody in particular.
and holy, by his deeds even more than by his words, expounding the
I won't tell you more.
You're talking about killing in the monastery.
among his disciples,
I really should report it.
demonstrating the divine precepts by his actions for those of
Would you do that? I have a feeling you wouldn't.
You're right. I'll keep it to myself. I've got problems enough of my own without involving myself in yours. And besides, I mean to be gone from here within a year, so why should I care what happens with the monastery?
Thank you, Siskin. I appreciate it.